How's it going, guys? It has been quite a while since you've had an update on the Z and on the Miata, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an update on both of them today. So let's start off with the Z first. If you guys remember when I parked it, it was doing pretty good. There were a few small things that I really wanted to do to it, and then like a couple big long-term things. So I've been working on both of those. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you may have seen a special product that is coming up very soon that is going to be really, really cool. If you missed that, then that's unfortunate because it was on my story and you can't see it anymore. But in the next few weeks, hopefully that will be coming to full fruition, and you guys are gonna love it. I'm 100% sure. But other than that, the main issue that I had with the Z and why I didn't really want to drive it is because the transmission was making a absolutely horrendous noise. So if you guys remember, if you've been with the channel for a while, this wasn't automatic, and then I swapped it to a 5-speed, and I got a transmission out of a, I think it was an 85 NA, and it was a 71C. Now, if you're familiar with the Z's, it came with 3 different transmissions, manual transmissions, and the 71C is what came in all of the NAs, and it used to be thought of as the second strongest, but it's kind of now turned into the weakest. It holds around 300 horsepower, and I'm pushing somewhere around there, and it was just not having a good time, especially when I was accelerating. So it's coming out and it's getting replaced with a 30A, which is the big daddy of all the Z31 transmissions. But the 30A I have is not a Z31 specific one, and it's also not a Z32 specific one. So it is actually been a big whole process to get it converted and adapted. So I'm actually working on that right now. The video for that should be next week or in 2 weeks, because I really want to do like a full in-depth video on all the transmissions and how to make them work. This one is a pretty complicated swap. I don't know if I would recommend it. And the gearing ratios are shorter than the Z31 and Z32 transmissions. But I'm going to put it in, drive it for a little bit, and then see how it feels before I really give a good decision on whether I think you guys should do it or not. But other than that, the Z31 currently has no transmission in it. That's this guy over here. This is the 71C I pulled out of it, and it is just parts now. It is not having a good life. I don't think I'm going to be able to sell it at all for any money. So I found a few people who do need some parts from it, so it is going to be parted out for a few gears. And then this right here, if you remember, is my 3-inch exhaust. I put a catalytic converter on it because save the environment, guys. I know it reduces performance, but if you really want to, do like 2 exhausts and then 2 cats, and you're just going to have so much flow it won't even matter. But I digress. I want to do it because I want to save the environment, but that's just me. So once the transmission is in, it's going to be super duper awesome, and so I'm super excited for that. I'm actually putting in what I had over here on the ground, I forgot to show you guys, is finally doing flex fuel. So this is my flex fuel transmission, or my flex fuel sensor, and I apologize if it's a bit windy right now, guys. And this is the return line. I redid the whole thing. It actually happened right when I parked it. It just decided to start leaking out of the return. And there's no hole in like the ends here. It was in the middle of the braided line. I was really confused as how it was leaking, but that gave me a really great opportunity to just pull the whole line and then go with flex fuel. So this is going to be going in, and once I get everything all working, then we can take it to get tuned, and we'll tune it on E85. I only have 550cc injectors, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to use E85 to its fullest. So we're just going to have to do that as we go. But there's that, guys. Z31 is coming along absolutely great. I'm super duper excited to get back to driving it. So let's go over to the Miata, actually. It's way over there. Alright, guys, so if you do not remember, this is my 2003 NB Miata, and it's not just any Miata, it is the Shinsen version Miata. This is one of 1,450 that they produced, and it basically was a specific color scheme. It's the titanium metallic gray with a blue top. It's got a limited slip differential, and on the interior, it's got some like chrome pieces and some sweet Nardi steering wheel, which I learned mine is not stock. So it's got 2 Nardi logos on it, one on top, one on bottom. This is 2 steering wheels. The bottom one is I think an earlier, and then the middle right here with the top is a later. So somebody took 2, sandwiched them together, so now I've got 2, and I put these new logos on them because the old ones were fading, and this one looks super duper good. I got these from Rev Limiter. If you guys don't know, he does a lot of Miata stuff, and it's pretty cool. He does some gauge cluster work too, and he's also my neighbor, so I definitely support him, and he's doing some good stuff. So the Miata is doing really good. I've put about 2,000, little under 2,000 miles on it in the past month or two, I guess 2 months. And really, it's just a nice stock car. So if you guys remember, it was hit up here in the front. I went ahead and replaced this piece right here because it was totally destroyed. I replaced the hood. This is actually another Shinsen hood. And then I replaced this fender as well. And you can see the bumper is new. This is a NB2 bumper. So after 2001, they changed the bumper style. And the one that I got when I first bought the car, it was an NB1. It didn't have these fog lights. Now I put in some custom fogs, and it looks super duper good. There's the halos, as you can see, and then of course just the regular light when I turn on the fogs. And these are the spec detuning headlights because that headlight was destroyed, and it was pretty much the same price to get both of these with the halos as it was to just get a stock one on eBay. It's crazy prices, but it has been super duper reliable. You guys have seen a couple of things that I've done with it, and it is just super great. I really don't have much to say. It's going to be getting repainted soon. This bumper is going to get painted. This is an aftermarket fender, and it just doesn't quite fit 100%. So we got an OEM fender for that one. It's going to get painted. This one right here is so close to being perfect. This is an OEM fender, but the hood in the accident it dented this fender right here, and it just messed up paint and it just dented it. So I also have a new OEM fender for there. So this Miata is really close to being done as well. It is going to get a full front end repaint. The hood's going to be the same, but all these basically will be the new, and it is going to look great. And once this is repainted, I'm probably going to sell it, because as much as I think that this is a great chassis, it really needs a turbo. It needs more power, and I don't want to deface a Shinsen Miata just because this is a special edition. I want to keep it as factory as possible. But that's just my preferences. I might buy another Miata and do a turbo swap, but I don't think that's going to happen. I really love the Z, and it does everything that I want in a car. So it's probably just going to be my main daily driver, and it is getting fairly reliable now that I've put a bunch of work into it with the wiring harnesses and everything. So that is this, guys. If you have any questions about either of the cars, definitely drop a comment down below. I will definitely be coming out with that transmission video soon. And then when I take it to get it dynoed and tuned, I'm going to be going here in Albuquerque to 10/10ths. They have great prices on their tuning for a 3-hour session, which is a really long time. So I think we're going to videotape that as well. You guys will see how much power it makes with an HX35 and the 550cc injectors, what we can really pull out of it. And hopefully it will be some pretty big numbers. I want to aim for around 400 horsepower because that is where my clutch starts to say it's not rated for anymore. It's just a little over 400 that's rated. So I think 400 is what I'm aiming towards, but we'll see when we get there if that's realistic or not. So again, guys, if you have any questions, definitely drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys later.